just a quick reaction to the team list. If you've seen the team list, which many of us would have, these Bulldogs boys have been named basically the best 17 that can be named has been named. It does not mean we won't see a couple of changes. That can definitely be on the cards. We could be seeing some changes as we go through the weekend. I think whether that will be a change before Thursday, we might see that. I'm predicting a maximum of 3 changes, but a likelihood of 2 changes. I do think there will be a couple of changes in the team, but we'll talk about that tonight. But he's gone out and named the side, going along with everything he said, and the feelings that I've been promoting, which is that this team is far from the finished product, and there's some players in that team that are very well trusted, that he knows can do it at the business end, and there's some players on a journey that have to prove that for their role. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. I think there's a good chance Curtis Moran could come into this side at some point, and maybe even Daniel Saluk for feeder for another game, and even maybe a Toby Sexton could find his side potentially. But we'll see. It'll all be revealed an hour before the game. But if I was a betting man, I'd expect one change to happen from by Thursday, and then the potential for 2 late changes on Saturday. And the reason I say that is because we'll know earlier if, I'm pretty sure we get to find out Thursday or Friday, actually haven't had a look, that whether the Broncos beat the Storm. Now, if the Broncos beat the Storm, I expect the Sharks may rest some players. Not that they've had a lot of Origin players or anything like that, but they may rest some players. I don't expect, and if that's the case, Serrate may give a couple of players that have been dealing with some injuries and niggles and stuff, which is every club. He might let them off the hook for a week and let them freshen up. But for the most part, they want to still run through reps. They want to go out there and keep learning the habit of winning and doing all that sort of stuff. So we'll check it out when we get there. Good to see is I can't really engage too much with the chat, so the trolls are there. Hello to you. Some other stuff that'll be coming up. I'll be doing a analysis of the book. I know it's a fair bit past the game, but I'm going to have the rugby league coach provide his analysis on the game we played against the Penrith reserve grade team, and it'll be good to actually see how he feels the game went with all context. Me and him argue on pretty much everything, and he's an expert coach, so definitely worth listening to. And he'll provide, a lot of the people who are angry with the direction of the team and stuff, he might actually validate some of your opinions. But I'd rather an expert do it than, cookie cutter media, if that makes sense. But, it doesn't mean I'll have to believe what he says. But I'll always take it on board. I don't apologise for being blatantly biased and supportive of our club. And I never will. It's a choice you can make. And it's a choice you can support and understand. But, look, it'll be good tonight, I think. It's an exciting time. It'll be nice for us to go out and beat the Sharks. I really hope they do. I don't like the Sharks much, never have. I think they've underperformed this year, but they're still close enough, and it's all about timing. And I still think this comp's an opportunity for anyone to win, including us, even though I would confidently say that we are going to be a better shot at this in a couple of years. I still think there'll be some hiccups for us next year, that's before you even see the draw. But that's not writing us off or being negative or pessimistic. That's just reality of what we're losing this year in Reed Marnie. That'll make people happy and call me a hypocrite, but you know, when you got a player there, he's shit in the last 20 a lot of games anyway, you know, so I agree with the people who say he should start. I don't disagree, but there are reasons for things, and there's really good reasons for things, and if people had any understanding, they'd probably go, yeah, no problem, we trust you on that. But at the end of the day, he's not the 80-minute player. And look, a lot of people have said that. They've said we'd be better having a 2-hooker rotation. And, you know, you can't fit a $600,000 80-minute hooker in your cap for the future. You can't commit to it when you know they're sort of busting themselves. They're likely to be, you know, degenerating more than regenerating in that sort of role. Like, he's put it all on the line for his whole career at Parramatta or Canterbury, and maybe going to a new club will freshen him up. They see him as an 80-minute player, and they've paid him as such, so good on them. But I don't think at the Dogs we've got he's just not that player anymore, and we saw it. I didn't want to believe it in the semi-final last year. I basically, the way it was is that I just stood up for Reed for what he's done for us. But, you know, you can't deny that when we were in a great position to win the game, when he got under fatigue, he just lost control of his emotions, and we didn't win. We didn't go. Our players didn't get to test themselves at that next level, so that, you know, that all adds into it. But you never ever write someone off on one performance. But as some of his detractors have said, there's been a lot more than one performance. Anyway, the club knows what they're doing and why they're doing it. I wish I knew. And at the end of the day, we're in the top 4, baby. We're in the fucking top 4. We're going to finish 3rd. And that's a fantastic bloody effort for our club. And I'm so proud of him, and I cannot wait to play the Sharks this week. Our last 12 games were 7 wins, 5 losses. You know, we won 9 of our first bloody 11 or whatever it was, which was a great start. But yeah, we'll see how we go, people. I'll talk to you guys. I'll talk to you guys when we get back on, because there's a few trolls here who like to carry on, and we'll make sure that those people get reported and whatever else. Go the Dogs. I'll see you about 7 o'clock.